Hello my dear Sagittarius, this is your love and spirituality reading for the month of October 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So we are entering into Libra season, so remember to wish all Libras out there happy birthday. And I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, so hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating, subscribing to my channel. I am so grateful for all of your appreciation. This reading can go both ways, so if I tell you that you are feeling or acting in a certain way, it can be in the reverse, that the person you are dealing with is feeling and acting in that way. The energy is the same, it's just different castings to the different roles by the universe. This message is also for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign, and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I will use the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargome and illustrated by Will Worthington. So I will start shuffling your cards. And when I open your deck here, and my dear Sagittarius, we see you here, Prince of Wands, together with the Seven of Wands. So either it's you coming galloping here towards someone that's a little bit impossible to reach because they have fenced themselves in like this and standing on the barricades, stopping you from entering. So this is, of course, it's very hard to find intimacy in any kind of relationship when we have these different sides of the battle. But it might also be talking about you all together. Disregard the picture that this is you fighting for your own honor or not letting in people in your life that you don't trust. So it can be as easy as that. Also talking about be able to say yes and no accordingly with what you really feel. Okay. So I call the divine with love and light. And here we have Seven of Pentacles. So another seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. So sevens are always spiritual challenges, talking about things that might take more time than you might have calculated. So the Seven of Pentacles is just this, it's a test of patience, while the Seven of Wands is a test of your boundaries, so that you don't sell yourself off in a situation. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's again being able to tolerate that things doesn't come to you at once, because you need to love your own life. Okay, that might be the song for you, because now I hear the melody, but then it's I love my life. I don't know who's done it. Maybe it's a guy. It's a very famous guy, but when I do the readings I forget all the names. So okay, so, and Sagittarius energy is like arrow. You want things to happen quickly, but you're probably dealing with some energy that's all about maybe battles and protecting their boundaries, their borders, and they don't want to be dragged into something that they don't feel sure about. So it might be like an idea of yours, a relationship that you can see, or anything that relates to this. So it's just different temperaments, and you are probably supposed to learn this with patience and having boundaries and not selling yourself off just because you have this big dream. Okay, so I call the six elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers. So I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards jumpers, Eight of Pentacles, towards your highest destiny. So Eight of Pentacles is about doing a job properly, doing it right, and you know, not hurry and not being slow, but doing it properly, step by step, so you don't have to do it over and over and over again, countless of times. So it's very related to karma, the eights. It's related to the strength card, which you need. You need the strength to be able to end your karmas and your patterns and projections, like things that you believe is going to happen and therefore happening, things you believe about people and therefore they mirror this back to you. So the more strong you can be, the more honorable you can be, the less you disrespect yourself and others, the more likely it's that you will make it through this challenge. So and it looks very prosperous. I felt like good energy with this, that this is for a good cause. So even if it feels troublesome, it's going to be rewarding in the end. Okay, so I will just tune in to your reading for a few seconds here. Okay, so my dear Scorpio, this is your future, and this is your now there, and this is the past. So in the past we have the Ferret. The Ferret is also Sagittarius. It's the Alchemist card or the Temperance card. So it's about getting the wiser by having the experience. So it's like a scientist going out in nature studying things, and here you are probably studying the nature of your different relationships and also your power of attraction. And it's about becoming more and more balanced, more and more grown up. It's 14, so 1 + 4 is 5, so it's connected to the High Priest card or Hierophant card, and that's about society and what's already known, like the collected wiseness or wisdom that we have in our societies. It's like a library, and sometimes we can be very possessive of the library, like the things that's already known. So this is how it is. I know how it is because I have the experience. But here it's like a curiosity. We want to experience something more. We want to know something more that hasn't been told before. So we are checking deeper. With earlier generation, it was sometimes very convenient to just decide that we know how things are and we don't have to dig into it because we know what has worked before. We don't have to figuring it out, and that might have left a lot of things uninvestigated. For example, the personality of yourself, not really getting to know yourself, but trying to act accordingly with a certain social norm or frame, and maybe suffocating a lot of emotions and passions and likes and dislikes and not really being fully alive. But this card wants to be fully alive, and it's the second card for love in the major arcana, talking about when the work begins, because you're so attracted by a person that's not really like you, and you meet them and get very excited in the beginning, but then you start to see the problems with this person. But usually you can't be attracted by a person that's more like you because they have nothing to teach you. So you need this opposite force to learn this, what you are set out here to learn. So when you feel like, oh, I already only meeting like stupid people and they are so unlike me and I can't understand them, that's because you're supposed to learn their language, their world, and get the wisdom that they have, and simultaneously they will learn this the same from you, but your way of being. So it's very fruitful, and it's spreading the experience that we have in a much rapider speed than to just lean back on culture. So that was in the past. So it seems like you have been experimenting and like having passionate, maybe not particularly easy relationships with different people. Doesn't have to be in love, can be at work and with your friends, family, things like this. So in the now here we have a Prince of Pentacles, and this is probably the more shy energy that you are dealing with in your life. People that might not be as expressive as you. They kind of might want to like to put things underneath the carpet and not discuss it because they don't know the consequences if things like this come to surface. So they are scared and shy and wants to be sure that things doesn't go out of hand. They want to have control. This is Prince of Pentacles. It's connected to Taurus. Taurus is also connected to the High Priest. So we don't go into unknown territory, okay? We don't talk with strangers. We don't marry outside our culture, things like this. But the Prince of Pentacles has a lot of good qualities, and one of them is loyalty. So even if you are dealing with a person that might have a hard time letting you into their lives, or not thinking that your ideas is said so great, or always like working against you in different matters, it doesn't mean that they are not loyal to you. It just means that you have different ways of dealing with things, and this person probably thinks that you are moving too fast, and like it's going too fast with everything. Yes, okay, so, and this is your future here, and then we have Cernunnos. So Cernunnos is these things in society which we usually have pressed down, and it's there obvious for anyone to see, but we don't really acknowledge that it is there. And so it can be passion, aggression, or the thing that we really think and feel about the situation, but we don't want to say it because we don't want to cause any drama. Cernunnos is connected to Capricorn, which is another earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn. Capricorn is usually a very hard-working, sturdy person that has made up their mind of how things should be. And therefore, they might be very troubled inside because they can't accept if they don't follow the norm that is set out by themselves. So they are creating a big shadow for themselves by not loving themselves fully. But this is going to change as we as earthlings start to love our own nature. Then Cernunnos will go back to be the natural life force, the force within us that guides us, like we are in connection with our planet and the planet's breath and heartbeat. So in the future, this is going to be a wonderful card, but for right now, it's more talking about what you have hidden in the shadow and what needs to be excavated from there. So it's the unknown aspect that makes us not being able to trust other people because they don't show their true face towards us. They show the face they think you want to see. And it's a lot of other things hidden here. Treasures actually, but as long as a person doesn't love themselves and are scared of their own darkness, it might be really, really hard to find intimacy with such a person that doesn't want to reveal themselves. But there's, with the devil coming here, Cernunnos is the devil, is 15, 1 plus 5 is 6, is the lovers, and you also see the lovers here. So this person probably want to be more intimate, but they don't know how to. Maybe you need to teach them with your very strong boundaries. So if there's attraction there and you are drawn to each other, it doesn't have to be attraction, pull, like sex and passion like that. It can be also friends really wanting to be together, but having a hard time with it since you're not really fully understanding each other. So this pull is helping you to sort this out, because if you didn't care about each other, this wouldn't be able to be solved. Everyone would stay within their own culture and nothing would really happen. But this is like a challenge. You are being drawn to this person for a certain reason, even if it doesn't feel particularly harmonic. Okay, so here is your past. And we have an Ace of Cups there, so that's love from the source. So something is going on in your life that is kind of predestined. When it comes from the source, it comes from like your the reason to why you came here in the first place. So it's like you're reconnecting with this source and getting information of where you are supposed to go, because you will feel your way, okay, forward. You will feel it very obviously, because there's something that's very important for you in your life, in your emotional life. You're always circling back to this. Ace of Cups, like it might be the most important person in your life, or the most important dream that you have. So this has real meaning, and it's you being connected to your source, kind of having like having your attention inside to your wisdom well, the emotions on which you get your guidance from the divine and from your the high part of your soul. And here we have the Tower. So you love this situation, you love this dream, but it doesn't go that well. The Tower wants to destroy everything that isn't built on solid ground. So it's talking about destroying things like a face or a mask that we have towards other people that might hide our purest intentions, like the inside of here. The flash here, it's God's will coming down, like, and destroying this structure. So if you are going through something difficult in something that you love, like a relationship or at a work or something else, like a hobby or something that like building a house or whatever is your dream right now, and it doesn't go that well, everything happens for a reason. Okay, so this what's going on here is the divine wanting to show people in their most authentic way. Okay, that the wall is being brought down, and we can communicate very openly and like in a vulnerable state. It doesn't mean that you don't have to have your boundaries. You need to have your boundaries, but just being authentic with where they should be, like after what you really feel and what you really want. So the boundaries might oscillate. If we are a very shy person, we might have our boundaries very far out, so don't come into my space. And if we are a little bit more relaxed, we might have lesser boundaries or no boundaries at all, because we feel very brave, so we can take on whatever happens. And here it needs to be balanced. It's like the balance between land and the ocean. Sometimes there's a tsunami and the ocean is taking more of the space than the land can get. And sometimes there's a landslide and the land takes more, or there's an uprising of the land. There's constant battle where your boundaries should be. And it needs to oscillate after your own experience, what you have learned. So for a while you might need to have very high boundaries because you're maybe in a battle with someone, and sometimes you need to show more of your inner authenticity. This is very pure intentions that wants to come through here, but it can't be shown because someone has maybe a great of an ego or a big mask, or like they don't love themselves and they don't trust their own beautiful, vulnerable inside, so they don't reveal this for you, or you don't reveal this to other people. And the next card is the Ten of Swords. So whatever old way you have tried to live your life, or this people or this person you are dealing with have tried to live their life, is not working anymore. It's like old survival skills is not working anymore. So the old way of doing things is outdated and kind of needs to go. And sometimes it can happen through radical things like losing your job or someone that was very dear to you. And it's like losing your own backbone and you don't know where to go from here. You feel very naked. But this is a call for you to become more adult and take more responsibility in your life, and not have to lean towards big groups of people, their way of thinking, your parents' way of thinking, or a partner or a best friend that you always could come to with your problems, because now you need to grow up and you need to go to yourself with your problems and kind of deal with them. I'm not saying that you can't take in advices from the outside, but you need to become less a victim and more a grown-up person. That is kind of what I'm seeing here. And if you are very sad, waiting for someone that has like sheltered you out and maybe been a little bit shy, it might be that the divine is doing like something on them right now. Four of Cups, yeah, you're waiting here for something, that they're going through something rather traumatic to change their way of looking at the world, and maybe this will make them more accessible for you in the future. And this might be what you have gone through also, to maybe learn to respect yourself a little bit more, because when this happens, the only thing you can do, if you are not going to just die on spot, is to start to acknowledge that, okay, I'm worthy of love, I'm worthy of existence, even if I can't do the same thing that I could before. And even if I lose my job, I'm still worthy, because sometimes we can identify ourselves very hard with the thing that we have in our lives, our car, our job, our husband or wife, our children, their achievements. But here it's about stripping all this away and finding the value of you, like just being a human being instead of a human with a lot of decoration. So you need to find the self-respect that comes from being a soul on earth. You don't have to have any worldly titles or own anything to find this kind of self-respect. So I'm thinking this is what we are looking for, and here that the divine wants you to being stripped down to the very core of you, and you will see that that might be even more worthy than whatever you could title yourself as before, or whatever you had before, like a fancy house or a fancy car or a fancy partner. Okay, so, and that was in the past, so something has like love came through, and the divine, like destiny, was making troubles for you, and eventually like everything that was false was dying here. And this is in the now, and we have the 5 of Wands. You remember I said 14, 1 plus 4 is 5, and this is usually how it looks from a divine point of view. It's like, oh, this is very good, this is fertile. 2 different people are meeting each other, and now they are going to give birth to like a new culture or new ideas because of this cross fertilization. Or crossbreeding. But here it's like how it looks from a human point of view. It's like a lot of battles, and we can't seem to find common ground. We have different ideas of where we are coming from and where we want to go, and we're meeting just in this crossroads and having this quarrel, like, I don't see things your way, well, I don't see things your way either, so we just have to battle this out. So it's like 5 people here is going to build a house, and everyone has different ideas. But it can also be like in this card is friendly competition. We want to win, so it's something with winning. Sometimes the want to win is also driving us forward to greater achievements. If everyone was content, we would stay happy in paradise and, you know, eat apples all day, not caring about getting more wisdom or understanding new things. So sometimes we need this competition to sprinkle out something amazing that wouldn't be there in other case. I'm thinking about achievement at school, for example, or people doing great invention and wants to be first with publishing. So this is driving people to do big things, but it shouldn't make them identify with it. Like, I am not my achievement just because I win this. It doesn't mean I am better than the people that didn't. We had the same idea. I was just quicker with publishing sometimes. So it's very easy for people to identify with their own achievements. It say nothing about you. You are an eternal soul, a beautiful spirit, with or without these achievements. Okay, and this is the center card. So we have the moon here. And you remember what I said, that we are dealing with a person here, might be you as well, that's very shy and fearful. They don't want to go outside their tower, because outside their tower, if they don't have their protection, their old survival skill that's now gone, they feel very barren. It's like a person losing their castle and now is like living on the outside in an enchanted forest and not knowing the way out. So how am I going to find peace and quiet again and find back to my comfort zone? This can easily result in panic attacks. It's like a person being forced to leave their house, maybe for simple things, and this is how they feel. And it can be more serious as well, losing job, losing your house, losing a marriage or a partnership here with these two people falling into waters and maybe against the cliffs here. But these fears, when we are faced in front of them and we are able to, you know, overcome them and not just die out of fear, we will grow. Okay, we will become more adult person after have gone through this. It's just like, bring it on. I can take whatever whatever crap you have throwing at me, because I have been through this, so now I'm so strong. So it's really true, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. I will note that too. Kill you. Make you stronger. Okay, so and the last card here in this row, in the now, is Five of Pentacles. So we're definitely dealing with the fives, culture. Other people doesn't accept you as you are. It's very hard to feel loved because people doesn't see eye to eye, doesn't see the same world. It's so different cultures, and it's so scary. Five of Wands, that's fire. Five of Pentacles, that's earth. So it might be that maybe you got tired of someone being like Rapunzel in the tower, or someone got tired of you doing like this, and now they are kind of like, they are not outside your tower anymore, or you are not outside their tower anymore waiting for them. It's like, well, if you need to stay locked in there, I'm not going to wait around for you. And this is how it feels now when they are gone, not waiting anymore. It was nice to have someone there. Maybe people coming and saying, couldn't you come and work at my place? Or lover saying, couldn't you move into my place? Or your husband saying, couldn't we build a new house? And you were like, no. And now there's no one knocking at your door wants your help anymore with their business. There's no partner anymore longing for you moving in with them, and there's no husband anymore wanting to build a house. He has given up that dream. He's just, okay, to hell with it. We stay in our apartment. And now you miss it, or they miss this energy that you came with all these dreams. So this is like a wake-up scene. People are waking up to the reality of what they said no to, or what they didn't accept, or the reality of the consequences of their own actions. For example, when we always say no, it can also be like the person saying yes, feeling like this, because what's up with these people? Why don't they want to work with me? Why don't they want a life with me? Why don't they want to build this dream together with me? So equally, it's very hard, and it's sad, but at least one person had the chance to doing something about this. Like the person that said no could have started to say yes. And started to invite, and started to become less fearful of the consequences, and maybe living life a little bit more brave. So we'll see where it goes with this, what's going to be the advice. But this is my feeling here, that if we would have been more brave, we would have been able to maybe accomplish this together. Something could have been done together here, instead of people feeling so alienated, and like almost it's like a battle cry here. This person and this person, the blue and the gray going here, and the brown here. So it's like two different cultures here clashing together, and they don't know how to deal with this. And here's the dog chasing a rabbit. So someone feels like a victim in all this as well. So it's nice to have the attention, and then the attention is gone. It's not so nice anymore. And this is the future. So going into, if this is October, this might be going into November, and it's very suiting because we have the Death card here, and Death is Scorpio, and November is Scorpio month. So we have the Ace of Cups, Five of Wands, and Death. So someone loved to death. They loved and they tried and they had this dream, but someone wasn't working together with them, so they just gave up on it. It's just, okay, so I let it go. so many songs coming through. I hear a lot of songs. Let it go. Let it go. It's maybe from some movie. Okay. And we see the eagle going up here. So someone is getting their freedom back. And it might be like the person that tried so hard out of what they loved and what they felt, but it didn't work out. Like people didn't work together with you, for example, and now you're free. Okay. So, and from this side, it looks like a big death. We have the moon and the Ten of Swords here. Ten of Swords is minor arcana death. This is major arcana death and the fear of death. So I think you have feared this change and to have a dream and not be able to fulfill it. It's like you feel like you have wasted a lot of time, but actually you didn't. You learned to take the consequences, to not build solitary on the dream and, you know, never ever give it up, but also looking of what kind of support and loyalty you have had from your surrounding. Don't let people build armies on your back, okay? Don't let people get the best of you with not giving anything in return. So this, I'm thinking, is the teaching for Sagittarius here, to not let other people build their empires on your back with no effort at all. Okay, there need to be more equality. That's what the Ferial here and the Five of Wands want, that there should be equal communication and give and take, and like both people are learning from this battle. Like this person is learning all about this other person's music taste, tasting food, maybe learning to eat food they didn't want to eat before, seeing like new horizons. But if this person, like this is a very strong-headed person, they don't want to change, they didn't learn squat. Okay, this person was the only one who learned. But if both people could learn, but then there needs to be like hardship on both sides. It can't be one person putting in all the effort here. It's an ending to this here. And it might be very scary. It's the snake, so it's about accepting changes, accepting that things doesn't go accordingly to plan, accepting what you can control and what you can't, and just, okay, so here the divine said, this is not going to happen, so it doesn't happen. But transformation card is also talking about someone's ego meeting their end and maybe thereby turning into a butterfly. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just like it feels like an ultimatum of some sort that might put an end to things. Yes, and here we have another 5. So this is like when you cry over spilled milk. You had something, you were sure it was going to be there. Sometimes we take things for granted. We have our parents there, for example. They have been like a pain in our butt for all our lives. And we don't really want to go and visit them because we know what's going to happen. Like if you feel you're so enlightened, spend a week with your parents and you don't want to. But then one day they are gone. They are not there anymore. And then you will start to miss them and you want to ask them all these questions and you really want to get to know them finally. And you want to ask about their childhood and your childhood and what happened in that scenario. But there's no one there to ask because they are gone. And it's like your backbone is gone and you feel like the world is ending. So sometimes we don't see the treasures that we have when we still have them at our side, and we disregard it and we think that it's nothing. And we are kind of sitting a little bit on our high horse or in our tower because, yeah, we don't want to spend this week with our parents because same old, okay. But here it's not there anymore. Whatever was offered to us is not there anymore. And we need to deal with that sadness without letting it consume us. So it's some kind of disappointment. From one end, it was a disappointment maybe of not achieving the dream. And from another way, it's a disappointment of no one being there to try to make you swallow this dream. So, and it's a wake-up call, is what I'm feeling. It's a very great wake-up call. And here's the both feminine 5s. So this is regrets. The masculine 5s, it's battle. I want to win over you. The feminines is this realization of was really there, accepting also of the pain and seeing the reality, and thereby being able to to make a call of what's going to be done from now on. But first we need to feel the pain and see the situation like with very clear vision, without any pink glasses on, so we can, like, the truth, here's the truth being revealed. The moon is full of illusion, but now you know, you have gotten like the answer of what was illusion, what's not, and it's very painful. So the truth, it shall first piss you off or make you, in this case, very sad, but eventually you will learn a lot from this, and it will be like the jumping board to your next stage. So this is not a bad thing. It might feel very sad, but it's not. And here we have a King of Pentacles, so we can see the Prince of Pentacles has developed into a king. So this was what was supposed to happen all along. It wasn't about losing the castle. It was about becoming a grown-up person, so you could deal with the powers that comes with having a castle. So you just don't, you know, become a person that takes things for granted, or become a person that just works without like enjoying the treasures of having whatever it is that you're having. So the King of Pentacles is, again, it's Capricorn, but it's in a more stable form. It's like when a person has accepted themselves and find dignity in what they are, instead of being afraid of what's inside of there. And you have this little robin there. So what we can see here is that the soul came through all these fears. The little robin is this Ace of Cups, your pure intentions straight from God. The robin is having a red chest. I think it's Great Britain's national bird. It has this red chest because it tried to take the thorns out of Jesus's crown, but was stung themselves. And you can see that this person almost have like a halo of this 5 Pentacles. The Pentacles is seem as very witchy, but it's actually a protection symbol, and it's the pattern that Venus, the planet Venus, makes on the night sky in maybe it's 5 years, something like that. And we have a wild boar here and a lot of fire, so it's not a person that has given up. They are still very stubborn and passionate and all these kind of things. It's very person that's very alive, but now they can master this energy. They don't have to be rude, they don't have to be scared, they don't have to keep people on the outside, they don't have to hide away in their castle, because they're so strong now in themselves. It's a person that have grown up. So for many of you, this is going to be the process in how you install your father figure, like you become a parent to yourself and you get your own backbone. You don't have to lean towards anyone anymore. You are the castle. You are the soul down on earth. For others of you, it will mean that the person that you have been with, that didn't want to, you know, do this dream with you, has now come to a different understanding, and is more ready for whatever you could offer them, and they have also more to offer you. So it's very beautiful situation, I think. So I will read the center card for you, the moon, from this big book. It's the extended version of the Druid Craft, so it comes with a very, very big book. There's a smaller version with a smaller book as well, and I haven't really excavated that book, so see if I can do this holding this big book with one hand. So take the right hand, it's stronger. A waxing crescent moon is in the sky, its pale light reflected in the sea. In the foreground, a crab crawls out of the water. Beyond are 2 standing stones that form a gateway. These are the 2 stones depicted in the High Priestess card. You know, people finding their own intuition and trusting it. But we are looking at them now from the other side, just out to the sea. Between the shorelines and the stones stand a wolf and a dog, baying at the moon. A rough path leads from the shore between the 2 dogs and stones and wends its way through the hills on the distant horizon. The 2 stones represent the gateway of fear that leads to rebirth, and the wolf and dog are guardians of the threshold and also potential allies and guides into the other world that lies beyond the gateway. So the people that you feel like they are your enemy, they are actually your guides to this new enchanted territory. So they will show you a new world if you let them. For you, it might be different things. Like one might learn to become more brave, the other might learn to not give all their strength away. So it can be different things. This is also Cancer and Pisces. We have the crab there. That's definitely Cancer, but the duality in the card is Pisces. So we have water signs here: Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, and Ten of Swords. So it's something emotional going on, where a person might have tried to live in a tower and pretend like they had no emotions. That is not going to be the way of the future. The path through life can sometimes be difficult, but the more we enter into the mystery of existence, the richer the rewards. However far we have traveled, we can still fall victim to delusion and illusion, and yet this is no reason for us to hold back. Fear has its place in protecting us from danger and clarifying our emotional limits. But this card tells us that fear can also be our ally and a teacher. The dog and the wolf sit baying at the moon, and it takes courage to walk between them and on through the gateway of the stones, up that lonely and rocky path that leads to a destination we cannot see. But if we have the courage to do this, we will discover that the dog and the wolf become our allies, guides in the other world, who will protect us and show us the way. So we can see this in retrospect, that the people that caused most trauma and troubles in our lives usually were the greatest teachers. So I'm also going to take Sacred Rebels Oracle for you. Well, one of these, this one. The other one is Free from Judgment, Free to Love. Maybe I will read both. We'll see. I'll put them here both so you can see them anyway. I will ask my voice if it wants to read one or two cards. So 35, and the other one is 39. Conscious connections. There is a call for more intimacy in your immediate relationships. And that was what I felt from the start, that there's like no intimacy. When I start to shuffle the cards, that there's very hard to make intimacy in this situation, because people are some person either is guarded and doesn't want to let the other person in. There is an opening for heart-to-heart communication that can salvage and restore a broken relationship or friendship if you are willing to honor your differences and look to what unites you. Sometimes it is hard to bear the differences between one another. One person may be willing to live life in high definition, whilst another may prefer to live it more vicariously until they have the confidence to step onto the center stage of their own life story. We are not there to judge each other, just to love and to be loved, and to let go of those that cannot accept us, and we open up to those who can. This oracle brings guidance for you to trust in the sanctity of the connections in your life, like the meaning of them, why they are here. If you have asked to experience a more sacred connection with people who truly get you and want to play life with you, rather than odds with or against you, then this oracle is a confirmation that this manifestation is on its way to you now. It may or may not be obvious at first, but kindred spirits are going to enter your life to help you connect with your deeper feelings and creativity. The Moon card. They will give wings to your inspirational ideas and big dreams. If you have been asking for healing in your current friendship or immediate relationships, know that this can happen through your willingness to express your true feelings and allow the situation to either fall apart or come together. It's like the Death card here. Like, say, call it like it is. Don't care if the person can't take it or not. That will kind of be the test of the relationship. If you show your true colors, do they still want to be with you? Do they still love you? That can be a very good test for a relationship. Or come together accordingly to the greater workings of life. Sometimes webs that have joined people together are broken, and that is appropriate, as people may outgrow what once held them together. Sometimes the tie that binds us together are so strong that they are able to withstand a great deal of pressure and still remain intact. So that was what I talked about when I said that this love, this attraction force, as long as it's there, you still want to fix things, even if it seems impossible. Yes. Either way, healing happens in the resolution of our feelings, and we are once again able to feel free, forgive, and be ready to move on to the next stage of relating, either with a person who has been in connection with us for a time or with someone new. This oracle asks you to remain open to healing connections and to allow people to be close to you. Trust in the process that draws people in and out of your life. Resist nothing and seek wisdom in all. Resist nothing, that's the death card. What you resist persists, and what you let go of will be free to come back to you. And I don't mean like break up with your partners and see if they really love you. No, that's childish. That's why the childishness is why we need to grow a backbone here. It's about like if the person doesn't want to work together with us, we just see the truth and allow them to not work together with us. And if they come to another understanding later on, then that's opening up for something new between us. So 39, free from judgment, free to love. Imagine a world so infused with bliss, love, and wonder that you naturally and always feel safe as a nurtured, cherished baby in the arms of the universal mother. Life mothers us with kindness, and sometimes when we need it to grow through challenges as well. Accepting this mothering in its gentle and fierce phases can be difficult at times. Yet there are those brave enough in spirit to go forward onto their life path with absolute trust in the universal mother. Some are even part of our plan to help mother others so that they too can surrender fear and live more freely. So this is what the love and this divine mother aspect wants you to do, to mother you through like the realm of your feelings, and be brave enough eventually to walk through this, the great mother landscape of emotions, so full of illusions and you know, wisdom that we can't comprehend and really understand, so it makes us scared, and then become like spitting out of all this comes a grown-up person. So that's a good thing. So yes, this oracle comes with a message for you. You are learning about mothering and being mothered. You might not do this in a typical way. It might be through bearing children, but it could also be through adopting children, raising children, or otherwise taking care of children and loving them as if they were your own. Also kind of being like the grown-up in a relationship. If the other person can't be, well, someone have to. You might also be learning how to mother on a rather different scales, working with groups, communities, causes or purposes that needs your devotion, your energy, your belief in their value, and your willingness to be the wild tigress or the supportive shoulder to lean upon in order to bring those worthwhile groups to life. So for example, if you have been with someone really stubborn that didn't want to share things with you or share your ideas, it might come a time when they are coming out of their shell. First you have shown them the possibilities, then they come out of their shell, meeting their fears, and it might be like the time when they come to you all broken. You can't be like, haha, I told you so, I told you would miss me, so eat shit and, you know, die. So don't be like that. Be like, okay, so now this person has come to an understanding and I can help them from here. So it's a better way. You may also be an aspect of the universal mother on a spiritual level. Some people that do this are male, some are female, some have children and some do not. Some are healers and some work in seemingly more ordinary professions. They have a mothering aspect in common and they love and respect life. They believe in life, are moved by compassion, and are genuinely encouraging and respectful of people. Rather than taking perverse delight when someone stumbles, like, you know, haha, eat, whatever, and die, they want to help. They are ordinary people with an extraordinary natural tendency to nurture life around them. So even if you don't let someone, you know, be all posh and build armies on your back, when they come to you all broken, you can help them, okay, when they come as equals. So this oracle brings you confirmation that you are amongst the Universal Mother's special clan of nurturing spirits that can help to honor life on this planet. You're also being asked to open up to receive more nurturing yourself. And you can do this for yourself. You can also choose to open up and allow others to nurture you. It might make you feel a little vulnerable at first, especially if you are not used to doing this. But you don't have to worry. You will get used to valuing yourself enough to know that needing love and affection from another is an opportunity, not only for you to receive, but for someone else to give, which involves them being received too. If you are tired and have been taking care of everyone else, then take some time to shift pattern and allow life to support you too. The Universal Mother helps the helpers so as they can keep helping. It works rather well, you see, for those that give so much to also receive abundantly. Okay, and the King of Pentacles is like receiving abundantly. So this is what wants to happen here. And if you play your cards well, you keep cool and love yourself, respect yourself, respect others, things will come to you. Start to open up to be able to receive, start to see your own splendor, and become like a real good parent to yourself. And other people will come to you and want to be parent by you too, okay? So, my dear Sagittarius, I hope this helps. I want you to take really, really good care. And I also want to welcome you back to my November reading that I will be doing in the mid of October. So until then, take really, really good care. Okay, bye-bye.